On February 23, 2017, what should have been a routine courthouse exit turned into a legal battle that would expose a serious misunderstanding of the law. 3 individuals walked out of a courthouse in Blount County, Alabama. Attorneys Victor Revelle and Megan Garcia, alongside their client, Lloyd Edwards. Just moments earlier, they had been inside, dealing with a deeply personal case. A protection from abuse order filed by Edwards' wife. But as they stepped outside, they were stopped. Not by chance, but by deputies waiting with a search warrant. What happened next would raise a critical question. How far can law enforcement go before they cross the line? Before leaving the courthouse, something important happened. Something that would change everything. Lloyd Edwards handed 2 of his cell phones to his attorney. A simple act, but one that would soon become the center of a legal storm. Because those phones weren't just devices. They were evidence. Deputies Ashworth and Ratliff approached the group, claiming they had a warrant to search Edwards and his vehicle. But there was a problem. A big one. The phones were no longer on Edwards. They were in the possession of his attorneys. And legally, that changes everything. Revelle knew it. Garcia knew it. And calmly, professionally, they refused to hand over the phones. Not out of defiance, but because the law was on their side. The warrant allowed a search of Edwards' person and vehicle. Not his attorneys. Not their belongings. But instead of stepping back, instead of reassessing, the deputies escalated. What started as a conversation quickly turned into a confrontation. Voices grew firmer. Tension rose. And then came the moment that changed everything. You are under arrest for obstruction. Obstruction? For what? There was no force. No interference. No threat. Just 2 attorneys, standing their ground and defending their clients' rights. This is where the situation takes a serious turn. Because under Alabama law, obstruction requires intentional interference, and simply refusing an unlawful order is not a crime. Yet, both attorneys were arrested. Right there, outside the courthouse. In front of cameras. In front of the public. In front of the law they had sworn to uphold. But the story doesn't end there. Not even close. The case went to trial. And in court, the truth came out. The warrant? Limited. The arrest? Unjustified. The charges? Unfounded. The judge made it clear. The deputies had misunderstood their authority. And more importantly, the attorneys had done nothing wrong. Not guilty. On all counts. What followed was inevitable. Federal lawsuits. Allegations of misconduct. And a case that would continue to unravel long after the handcuffs came off. And those phones? The very evidence that sparked it all? They revealed nothing. No crime. No proof. Nothing usable in court. In the end, the only real outcome was this: a violation of rights, a damaged case, and accountability catching up. This wasn't just a mistake. It was a reminder that even those who enforce the law must be bound by it. And that's where we step in. Welcome to Justice Street File, where we break down the who, the what, and the right and wrong of police interactions. If you believe in justice, if you believe in accountability, if you want to understand your rights in the real world, then make sure to like the video, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to Justice Street File. Because the truth matters. And here, justice gets served.